to get out of this crisis. And in the papers, in the media, every political parties have their solution of that. But everybody agrees we must inject money in our roads, in our tunnels, in our bridges, in our infrastructure after decades of non-investment. And I think we will do that also. But we hear a lot about artificially sustaining demand by injecting even more money into the economy. But where do we find the money to inject into the economy? It is not falling from the sky. The money has to come from somewhere else in the economy. In effect, it's all about taking money from some and giving it to others. It's like taking a bucket of water in the deep end of a swimming pool and emptying it in the shallow end. A government cannot inject money into the economy unless it has first extracted from the economy, from the private sector, from the businesses, from the citizens, through taxes or put us further into debt by borrowing. We are also being told by some experts or some commentators to continue to shop till we drop in order to kickstart the economy. In these uncertain times, when many could lose their jobs, this amounts to urging people to be irresponsible. This approach tells us that the more we consume, the richer we are. But the truth lies exactly in the opposite. The richer we are, the more stuff we can consume. And you get rich by working, by saving and investing real resources, and by becoming more productive. There are no other ways. There have been many examples of excessive government intervention in the economy and its result. Roosevelt prolonged the Great Depression by decade with his ultra-interventionist policies. The Japanese also implemented such policies after their real estate bubble burst in the late 1980s. They voted in huge spending package, and the Japanese central bank kept interest rate at 0%. Yes, 0% for several years. And you know what? It did not work. The only tangible result is that Japan went from the country with the smallest debt in the G7 in 1995 to the country with the largest debt today. And 20 years later, its economy is still in crisis. So I think the only thing more dangerous than this economic crisis may be our way of responding to it. If we intervene too much or in an inappropriate manner, we could very well aggravate and prolong the crisis. What we know, we need to permanently reduce the tax burden on businesses, on individuals, to allow them to better cope with this situation and get through this crisis. Because people, you know better than any politicians in Ottawa what to do, or bureaucrats, what to do with your money. You're the one who creates jobs. We don't create any job. The way that a government is creating jobs is by having more civil servants. What we need to do is to have a new specific tax reduction measures. And this January 1st, new measures took effect. And I have three measures that you may know. First, the tax-free saving accounts. the increase in the basic personal amount to $10,100, and the reduction of the general corporate income rate, general corporate income tax rate for corporation to 19%. So thanks to these tax cuts and orders that have already been implemented, we will pay $31 billion less in taxes than expected in 2009-2010, so this year. But as you know, the opposition parties are threatening to defeat our government if the upcoming budget does not contain an ambitious spending package. When the opposition parties declare that we must spend a lot of money, an enormous amount of money, to solve this crisis, they are, in effect, saying that the solution to the crisis is to increase our taxes and our debt. However, considering the current political climate in Ottawa, and also because we are a minority government, we will obviously need to make compromises, and we will do it. Yet, we need to stay focused on the fundamental principles that have been tried and tested: responsible finances and free markets. And personally, I think this is the only things that we must fight for if we want to bring back our prosperity and safeguard our children's future. We'll have a big challenge, and I'm pleased to be here with you today. I'm going back to Ottawa next Monday. We will table our budget. After a lot of consultation that we did, I'm sure it will be a responsible budget, and I want to thank you for this opportunity this morning. Thank you very much.